Everybody, welcome to your full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse horoscopes and tarotscopes for your full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse this Saturday, October 28th, 2023. So we're going to talk all about this eclipse and how you can make the most of it. Eclipse season, it can be a little bit tough for people, but it shifts us to where we want to go. We're going to talk all about it. So, this Taurus full moon lunar eclipse will be at 5 degrees of Taurus. So that's where you want to look in your astrology chart, where 5 degrees of Taurus is or thereabouts, as that is where this eclipse will be taking place. And I'll talk to you about what that means. But when we're talking about the sign of Taurus, we're talking about security, we're talking about sensuality, and we're talking about values. So Taurus typically wants two things. They want security and they want sensuality. So essentially they want to be stable and they want to feel good in their bodies. It's a very, very earthy sign. It can be even hedonistic. So you want to get into feeling as amazing as possible physically. Really a great thing to do is to ground yourself and enjoy your body during this time. Hey, Gayla, nice to see you. Hello, bot. Nice to see you today. And because it's a full moon, we're balancing, right? We're balancing because the sun is in Scorpio and the moon will be in Taurus. So we want to balance Scorpio energy of rebirth with Taurus energy of stability. So think Scorpio transformation, Taurus status quo, right? So how are you balancing these two energies? What are you releasing, letting go of, and what are you holding on to? Just some information about the lunar eclipse versus the full moon, just so you know. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the moon, which is going to make it appear red or darkened in the sky. A full moon occurs when the moon is positioned directly opposite the sun, fully illuminated by its light. But during a lunar eclipse, we can see the Earth's shadow move across the moon, which can either be a total, partial, or penumbral solar eclipse, right? And this one is a partial. During a full moon, the entire face of the moon is illuminated and there's a shadow cast upon it. A lunar eclipse is more rare and dramatic than a full moon, offering a unique visual experience for sky watchers. And you can look at the lunar eclipse all you wish, unlike the solar eclipse, for which you need glasses or you'll hurt your eyes. Solar eclipse versus lunar. A solar eclipse occurs when the moon passes between the sun and the Earth, blocking the sun's light and creating a shadow on Earth. A lunar eclipse occurs when the Earth passes between the sun and the moon, casting a shadow on the moon. A solar eclipse can only occur during a new moon, while a lunar eclipse can only occur during a full moon. A lunar eclipse is rarer than a lunar eclipse as it requires a more precise alignment of the sun, moon, and Earth. Hey, Casmar, nice to see you. Does the different eclipses cause any energy? Oh, yes, quite a few energy shifts. So if you are within that 5 degrees, like 4 degrees on either side, so between 1 and 9 degrees of Taurus, if that hits an important point in your chart, there's certainly going to be an energy shift. But honestly, somebody in your life most likely has, oh, thank you for the super sticker. Somebody in your life most likely has something affecting them with this eclipse, right? Somebody in your life is probably affected by the eclipse, and therefore you may be affected as well. Hey, Grandma Nay, nice to see you. Oh, we don't hate you for going crazy. It's fine. Go crazy. It's fine. So yeah, there's certainly lots of shifts with the eclipses for sure. And here's what you can expect. What can you expect from a lunar eclipse? Well, intensified emotions. Lunar eclipses amplify our emotions. We may be feeling more sensitive or reactive than usual for about a week. So you might even be feeling it now. More sensitive, more reactive. culminations and endings. So astrologically, lunar eclipses are associated with the end of one's chapter. So there might be things that you're closing up, especially if it's a strong hit, that 5 degrees of Taurus in your chart. We're going to talk more about that. Reflection and introspection. Eclipses encourage deep self-reflection, allowing individuals to review their path and to make necessary adjustments. Remember, it is a perfect universe. So these eclipses are happening to help us. The universe is on your side. The universe is trying to facilitate your growth and happiness. And also a sense of release. Events or experiences around the time of an eclipse might bring about a sense of letting go or release from past burdens or constraints. So it's very, very positive. Hey, Kelsey, nice to see you. So for this eclipse, or all eclipses really, eclipses can offer course corrections. So if you're not on the right path, the eclipse happens, shakes things up, and gets you on the right path. It's an opportunity to grow or prosper. And if you don't do that, you might face challenges. The only constant in the universe is change. And if we don't change along with nature, because nature is constantly changing, we suffer, right? Resistance is that energy of holding on really, really tightly, which is certainly a theme with the lunar eclipse in Taurus. And that resistance is problematic because it keeps us from flowing with our energy. And that can cause congestion, and that can cause sickness, and it can keep other things in your life from flowing effectively, i.e. love, money, etc. Eclipses can highlight imbalances in your personal and professional life, particularly lunar eclipses, right? Because it's a full moon, and the moon will be in Taurus, the sun will be in Scorpio, so we're balancing those two energies. So you might find, oh, geez, I'm working all this time, not giving any attention to my family, or I'm spending too much time having fun, and I'm not buckling down as much as I need to. So look at where there may be some imbalance and allow this eclipse to help you gain more balance in your life. A lunar eclipse may disturb what lurks underneath the surface, particularly with the sun in Scorpio. So tend to your spiritual regime around this time. Take care of your energy. Meditate, go for walks in nature, exercise, anything that feels good, particularly good physically, good food, exercise, stuff like that. And this eclipse in particular occurs very close to Halloween. So during Halloween time, the veil between this world and the spirit world is at its thinnest. So you may be feeling very, very open to spirit, to your dead relatives, etc. So because of the openness and the veil being so thin, you want to ground and shield yourself. We have Halloween weekend coming up, and that is the 28th, right, of the eclipse, Saturday. So the weekend before Halloween, we have this lunar eclipse. So you want to make sure that you ground and shield yourself and pre-pave, meaning flow, love, and energy to wherever it is that you're going before you arrive. Have fun. Don't let the eclipse keep you from having a good time, but you want to ground and shield yourself because you may be more open. Taurus is ruled by Venus, so the ruler of this eclipse is Venus. Now, Venus is in Virgo, which is in its detriment. So Venus is not really happy in Virgo. So you got to make allowances for this, meaning you want to watch out for Venus in Virgo pitfalls, being overly critical, being neurotic, anxious around relationships and your self-worth. Virgos in particular were born during a time in which their parents were not getting along. And because babies are naturally narcissistic, they think everything is about them, they blame their parents not getting along on themselves. And then they go through life overcompensating. That's what makes them the hardest workers of the zodiac, because they overcompensate. But really, of course, their parents wouldn't be getting along irrespective of them, right? So you want to watch out for thinking that everything's your fault, that you have to overcompensate, that you're not good enough, etc. So watch out for that this weekend. Oh, you're going to be on a plane going to the USA? Okay. Well, that ought to be fun. That ought to be fun. Just pre-pave. Just pre-pave. So yeah, watch out for those Virgo and pitfalls, right? And you're going to have to send a little bit extra love to the things that you're doing, right? And the people that you're going to be around, right? Because you want to compensate for that Virgo that can be a little bit critical. Eclipse details. So if you have a planet or point between 1 degree and 9 degrees, especially in the fixed signs of Taurus, Scorpio, Leo, and Aquarius, you will be affected by this eclipse. The tighter the orb, so the closer it is to that 5 degrees of Taurus, i.e. 4 degrees, 5 degrees, 6 degrees, the more significant the life change. The area of your life affected is determined by where that 5 degrees of Taurus falls in your chart. Now, the last lunar eclipse that we had at 5 degrees exactly, just like this one, was on October 27th, 2004. So if you have a good memory, you can think back to what was going on around that time, and those themes will be relevant for this eclipse coming up. And thanks to the internet, you might be able to even do a search in your Gmail to find out, oh, what was going on in 2004 October, end of 2004 October. You can find that out, and that'll give you an idea of what you can expect this eclipse. What is pre-pave? I'm so glad you asked. So we're always pre-paving with our thoughts. Thoughts create energy, right? It's like this electrical current that comes about. Every single thought I have or you have, it creates this electrical current and it flows out into the universe. So we're constantly flowing energy with our thoughts. So typically what winds up happening is we wind up thinking of a situation. Say you have to go to a work function and you really don't want to go. Well, all the thoughts that you're thinking, I don't want to go, this person's going to be there, I'm going to have to stay, I have so many other things I could be doing, blah, blah, blah. That's creating an electrical current throughout my body, and it's flowing energy to this event. Bad, not good, right? Because you're pre-paving, you're sending energy to that event that is negative. What you want to do instead is get peaceful about it, accept that you have to go to this event and line up with it. You don't want to split your energy. If you're going to go to the event, go to the event. Don't go kicking and screaming, line up with it, accept it. And then what you want to do is you want to get calm, visualize the event, and send love. So you fill up your heart with love, you flow that energy, you think loving thoughts, and then you send that love. You can look at it as a pink light coming from your heart to the event, to perhaps the car that's picking you up, to the people on the road, to the people at the event, even the people you don't like, or especially the people you don't like, etc. And you're sending love to everybody at the event, and essentially you're feeling all the love at the event. And then you go to the event and you've pre-paved. So you're entering that event with all of that love energy already there, and the event is going to be good. So that's what I mean by pre-pave. Let me know if that makes sense. Sin! Nice to see you. Nice to see you, Sid. I wouldn't worry about that. You're 27 degrees. I would say if it's 1 degree to 9 degrees, then I would worry about that. So don't worry about it if you're at 27 degrees in fixed. That's not an issue. You really need to do that pre-paving? Yeah, we all do. It's the most practical thing. Right? So yeah, remember or think back or do some research. What was going on October 27, 2004? Those themes will be relevant. Taurus significance. So the sign of Taurus, my pleasure sin as always. So the sign of Taurus represents stability, practicality, determination, and materiality. It concerns values, possessions, and self-worth. Taurus is the opposite of Scorpio. So Scorpio is about transformation and shared resources, whereas Taurus is about status quo, stability, and your resources. So Scorpio is all about sharing, right? It's about commingling your resources with somebody else's. We do this with sex, right? In fact, when two people have sex, their auras are intermingled for a time afterwards. Same thing when you go into business with somebody and you commingle your finances together. That's Scorpio, whereas Taurus is mine. Mine. Not yours, not ours, mine. The eclipse in Taurus touches on the balance between personal values, Taurus, and shared dynamics, Scorpio. So we're balancing those energies. So again, this Taurus full moon lunar eclipse will be at 5 degrees. Find out where that is in your chart. You might want to look at any place that you have 1 degree to 9 degrees, because we're giving a 4-degree orb on both sides of the fixed signs. So that is where you're going to see the changes. Remember, irrespective of where it falls in your chart, themes of security, sensuality, and values are going to be important. And for all of us, we're balancing that Taurus energy with that Scorpio energy. So it's rebirth, Scorpio, stability, Taurus. Oh, when we were talking about pre-paving, that was funny. I was thinking of the one I don't like, and you put a finger up and said, yeah, you always want to send love to everybody, just because, honestly, the things that we don't like in other people, it's really about ourselves, right? Because we see or we sense that we might have that attribute ourselves, and we're not accepting it. So our conscious mind can't handle the fact that we are like that person, so we project ourselves. I don't want to say hatred, that's a bit strong, but we project our own issues about being that type of person onto other people. Jack Johnson says in a song, we are what we hate. So that's why you want to send love to everybody, because at the end of the day, everybody is yourself pushed inside out. So keep that in mind. So let's start with Aries, of course. So Aries, this full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse is hitting your second house of values and resources. This is the natural house of Taurus, the second house. So, as we said, Taurus is about values. So, with this lunar eclipse, Aries, you may find yourself shifting your values, shifting your priorities. The lunar eclipse and full moons are about letting go. So, what have you been putting energy into that no longer is relevant, that you really don't care about? Scorpio, in particular, is about what has heart and meaning. So if you've been putting energy into something that no longer has heart and meaning, you might be evolving your priorities. Particularly in Taurus, an object in motion likes to stay in motion, right? So we could get fixed or stubborn and be flowing our energy in ways that are more habitual than instinctual, meaning we're doing things out of habit as opposed to doing them because they have heart and meaning, they actually are important to us. Always send love even when they are mean. They need it the most. Exactly. Financial growth. So Aries, this is a second house transit for you. You might find yourself shifting things financially. There might be certain things that you no longer want to do. But this could be removing any blocks to your financial growth, and that may at times shake things up, but that's okay. The second house is also about your talent and skills and abilities, but mostly your natural talents. So this is a wonderful time, Aries, for you to explore what you're naturally good at. And that is going to open your throat chakra, and that throat chakra is going to increase your self-worth, and an increased self-worth is going to increase your bank balance. So definitely explore your talents and abilities. But the big thing is shifting values are going to enhance your prosperity. You want to release old boundaries, meaning if you've been no all the time, well, maybe you need to say yes a little bit. Likewise, if you've been yes and acquiescing all the time, maybe you need to say no. But welcome new financial opportunities during this time. And what we're going to do is give you some wisdom from the tarot, Aries, find out what would be helpful for you to know this full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse. So guidance for Aries. Wisdom for Aries. Page of Swords. Okay. So Page of Swords is one of the less endearing pages. She can be very difficult, right? So you want to make sure that with the Page of Swords, you're thinking about things in a way that is empowering for you. It's a matter of all circumstances are neutral, right? As Shakespeare said, there's nothing good or bad, but thinking makes it so. So if all circumstances are neutral, if you can assign positive meaning to an inherently neutral circumstance, you're going to derive positive results. Likewise, if you assign negative meaning to an inherently neutral circumstance, you're going to derive negative results. So you want to label it. Like, how can I use this to my greatest advantage? You don't want to doom and gloom. You don't want to give yourself the luxury of a negative thought. And you also want to, when in doubt, leave it out. Watch out for gossip and watch out for mindsets that do not serve you. The big thing with the Page of Swords, it's about being on the lookout for practical opportunities and make sure that you're not acting childish in your communications. You want to be above board because the Page of Swords can be gossipy, they can be petty. So you want to essentially be an intellectual adult during this period, and that'll help. So happy full moon, Aries. Additionally, Taurus, happy full moon in your sign, Taurus. So this is going to be hitting your house of identity. This is your personality, the first house, Taurus. If you want a new personal reality, well, then change your personality. Your personality creates your personal reality. So with this eclipse being in your sign, you're up for an upgrade. You're thinking about V.2, version 0.2 of you, right? So it's about growth. And Taurus, you guys have been going through a lot of growth. We've had Uranus in your sign for a while, the planet of change. Jupiter's been there. So there's been change and expansion for both. Change it. I did see your super chat. Let me see here. I did see your super chats are $5 plus. So $5 plus if you want a super chat. We're not doing $1.99 super chats. So Taurus, it's all about growth and it's about self-awareness. So you're going to be able to release things that are no longer relevant for you. So if something is heavy, it's wearing you down, it's making you feel bad, this is the time for you to release it from your life, right? And you're going to become aware. Eclipses bring things to a head. They make things more clear. So you might understand more about yourself. Also, energetically, this could be a nice release for you, right? You could be letting go of limiting beliefs or anything toxic in your life. And that's going to make you more radiant, right? So your radiant self, because this eclipse, again, it's going to wash away things that are no longer relevant for you. And that is going to help you attract whatever it is that you want, right? So it's a matter of this eclipse for you, Taurus, is all about releasing resistance. Anything you can do to release resistance. So let go of your limiting beliefs, Taurus, and embrace empowering ones. So keep that in mind. It's going to be a big deal, right? But it's going to help you. It's going to help you wash away things that are no longer relevant so you can feel perfect. And then feeling perfect is going to help you attract really, really great, perfect things. So let's see, Taurus, what you get from the tarot. Some wisdom for the tarot. Wisdom for Taurus. Wisdom for Taurus. Wisdom for Taurus. Wisdom for Taurus. Eight of Cups. So in this card, right, we have the 8 cups and we see this figure in red, meaning he's still strong, but he's walking away from cups, which have to do with your emotions and even relationships. So this is very apropos. This card is actually ruled by Scorpio. The wisdom here, Taurus, is what are you walking away from that no longer has heart and meaning? It could be a mindset. It could be a person. It could be a job. This is like the I'm done. I can't anymore. Over, right? So you're walking away. And remember that in the tarot, after the 8 of Cups, we have the 9 of Cups, which is about happiness and wish fulfillment. So in leaving behind what no longer has heart and meaning, you can find true joy and happiness. So keep that in mind, Taurus. What is love flows, what is not goes. So whatever it is that you're not as in love with in your life, maybe you have to start walking away to find something that has deeper meaning, more heart and meaning, because that's what Scorpio is about. Scorpio needs to have heart and meaning in what they do, right? So find that and enjoy your full moon in your sign. Let's see. Well, of course, Gemini. So Gemini, this full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus is hitting your 12th house of the subconscious. So you'll need to get some extra sleep this week. Get your rest. There's so much stuff that can take place when you sleep, so much healing. It helps you to process stuff. So you might not be feeling like a complete party animal this Halloween weekend. You just want to make sure if you are doing out, if you are going out and you are being social, as Geminis typically are, then you want to make sure that you're balancing that. Getting extra rest before you go out, right? Or getting extra rest the next day, or making sure that you're showering and washing yourself when you come back home, because you're very, very open. And when we are around people, we take in energy, right? And we don't want that energy on us or in us. So you want to make sure that you're really nurturing yourself during this time, especially your subconscious mind. So it's liberation. Gemini, this is a 12th house transit. It's the last house of the zodiac. So it's all about endings. What is no longer working for you? How can you liberate yourself, right? It is very much about personal growth and really understanding the subconscious, because the subconscious is where we have our patterns of behavior, our paradigms, which essentially is what we complain about. I don't understand this. I always choose the wrong line in the supermarket, or I always find relationships that are one-sided, or my bosses always hate me, whatever patterns you see, whatever, this always happens to me, things, that is a pattern, that's a paradigm. And this transit for you, Gemini, is about reworking those paradigms, right? And creating new ones. So creating a new story, right? And really, it's about a new self-image. We get in life what we subconsciously believe that we are, right? So if I subconsciously feel that I already have the love of my life, I will attract it. All the money I want, I will attract it. So it's a new self-image. You want to really utilize this time to impress upon your subconscious who you want to be, because that is who you really are. So keep that in mind. There could be a lot of revelations, Gemini. You'd be like, oh my God, I do that. I sabotage this. And that's huge with the 12th house transit. So how are you getting in your own way? Forgive yourself. Let it go, right? So you want to release past burdens and celebrate your strengths. What we focus on grows. So you want to maybe utilize this transit, Gemini, to write out all of your great qualities and gifts, because that's going to make you feel better about yourself. And with a better, more positive self-construct, you're going to accomplish a lot more, and you're just going to feel a lot better. So let's see, Gemini, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom for Gemini. Wisdom This is interesting. 4 of Pentacles. So this is a very Taurus card. It actually is Sun in Capricorn, but it is kind of Taurus, right? Because Taurus does have that reputation of holding on really tightly. Mine, and they can be very like possessive and very stubborn archetypically, right? This card would suggest that you do need to hold on to certain things, right? That you want to hold on to what you have. You don't want to give everything away, right? With the Sun in Scorpio, that might be easier to do because Scorpios are very much about giving and sharing and intermingling resources. So I would say with this card, Gemini, look at where it is that you absolutely need to hold on to what you have, right? This could be a card about saving for a rainy day. This could be a card about holding true to your values. Likewise, it could also be about, are you holding on too tightly? Typically with Gemini, you're not doing this. So I would think that with the 4 of Pentacles, you need to hold on a little bit more tightly to what it is that you care about. But remember, when you hold on too tightly to what you have owns you. So you don't want to be too stubborn, right? But you need to know when you need to hold on to things. When is it good to maintain that stability and that status quo? So balance that out. And happy full moon to you, Gemini. Additionally, Cancer. So Cancer, this is a fun little transit for you. Fun little transit. House of Friends and Dreams, your 11th house. And really, the 11th house is the house of why not? Essentially, the 11th house teaches us that there are no dangling carrots in the universe. That whatever you want comes with it, the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. So if you have a dream, it is realizable. And this transit is about you saying, why not? So you might want to ask yourself, if you could do anything at all, anything, and absolutely not fail, what would you do? And then do it. Go for it, right? Follow your highest excitement and go for it. The 11th house also has to do with friends. And there are flourishing friendships. But because it is a lunar eclipse full moon, a woman in particular could be leaving your life. Maybe it's a friend that no longer aligns with you, right? Or it could be just generally certain people are no longer punching your ticket. But that is to make space for more flourishing friendships, right? And it doesn't mean that somebody's necessarily leaving, but sometimes that happens with an eclipse. People are eclipsed out of our lives, right? And also it's about you finding the right community to push you to where you need to go, right? The right tribe, the right community is going to act as an energy for you to be empowered, right? One thing to remember with the 11th house is that we're constantly telepathically communicating with each other, right? So if you're with a group of people, that is making a lot of mental connections. A lot of telepathy is going on when you're in a group, much more than there would be if it was just you and, say, another person or a few other people. When you're in a community, that telepathy is going on. And what is that doing? That's giving you ideas. It's helping you to understand things in a way that you hadn't before. So you want to make sure that your vibration is aligning with the tribe that you want to attract that can help you reach your goals. It's also a really good transit for networking. Definitely networking. Other people can help you make your dreams come true. And that's what your friends and community are supposed to do. So your aspirations will take you to stellar heights. Dream big and go for it. And what you want to do essentially is move with alignment toward your goals. So you want to make sure that you want X. Okay, are you lined up with X? Are you feeling as if X has already happened? Again, everything is going on internally first. So you want to, especially under this full moon, get physically into the state of having what it is that you want. Make your cells feel as if you've already achieved it, right? You want to be lined up with your goals. You don't want to be like, well, I want this, but I doubt it'll happen. That's not going to happen, because then you're splitting your energy. What you want to do is you want to line up with it as if it's already happened. And you can trick your subconscious into believing that it already happened by visualization, because the subconscious, when you visualize, it doesn't know whether or not you're reflecting back to something that happened before, or if you're just making it up. And you never want to worry, as that's a grave misuse of the imagination. You're pre-paving in a negative way when you worry, right? So let's see, Cancer, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. Wisdom for Cancer. Wisdom for Cancer. Wisdom for Cancer. Wisdom for Cancer. All right. So 9 of Swords. So this is actually not as bad as it looks. Not as bad as it looks. We do see this figure, and they're up at night. But the thing is that if you notice the blankie, his blanket, it has the astrological symbols on it, which tells us that even during troubling times, we still have help. We still have source to guide us, right? And the other good thing about 9 of Swords is that it's just you. It's just you. Nobody really is messing with you so much as it's a 9, so it refers to the Hermit. This is about you obsessing or getting anxious and neurotic for no good reason, because it doesn't really help you, right? So you want to watch out for over-analyzing things. I mean, you're one of the luminaries, Cancer, so every eclipse is going to affect you, and Leo, because that's one of the luminaries as well. So you will be affected by this eclipse, and it's going to be important for you to practice that sense of acceptance and letting go, and really putting your trust that everything is going to be okay. We're always trusting in something. Even if you're trusting that things are going to go completely awry, you're trusting in that. So you want to trust that everything is working out for your greatest good, in your best interest. And just watch out for obsessing. Do whatever it is that you can to calm your mind. You want to make peace of mind your only goal for this eclipse. Okay? So keep that in mind, Cancer. Happy full moon. Additionally, Leo, this full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse is hitting your 10th house of status. So this is definitely a time in which there's a spotlight on you professionally. People are watching, right? VIPs may be watching what you're doing. So, for instance, if you have, a job that you go to, you want to make sure you're showing up on time. You want to make sure that you're staying a little bit later, perhaps. Do whatever you can to look good, especially around authority, right? You want to definitely make a contribution during this time. Really looking at what up-leveling means for you professionally. What can you do that's going to help raise your status? What can you do that's going to help you make more of a contribution to either humanity or your corporation, etc.? So passionate leadership. This is definitely a time for you, Leo, to let go of any inhibitions and really taking the lead. You might say to yourself at times, I really wish that somebody would do this. Well, that might be you. Be the change that you want to see in the world. You're so creative, Leo, that there's so many things, so many ideas that you may have. And this might be a great time to let go of resistance so you can start implementing them. Recognition. You're probably going to get recognized. You might be called out for notice, right? That's really cool. And also, if your career is not punching your ticket, this is a wonderful time to release resistance and just move into another area. That doesn't necessarily mean that you need to quit your job or change things entirely, but maybe it's a matter if this is a time for you to develop a hobby with the intention later on of monetizing it or making it part of your contribution to humanity. In any case, your passion, Leo, which you have so much of, is going to magnetize you to success. So let go of doubt during this transit, especially professionally, and trust your aspirations. Again, if you aspire to do something, that comes with it the built-in prerequisite ability for you to achieve it. I also would say, Leo, that this is a wonderful time to heal and connect with the divine father within, because the 10th house has to do with father, whereas the 4th house has to do with mother and the divine mother. So this transit for you, if you want it to be good for you, Leo, then definitely connect with the divine father within, and that's going to help a great deal. So let's see, Leo, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. Wisdom for Leo, wisdom for Leo, wisdom for Leo, wisdom for Leo, wisdom for Leo. Three of discs. So, Three of Pentacles, or discs, however you want to say. So the Three of Pentacles is about giving things the works, right? So moving forward and you got to give it the works. Say you have a project. It's a matter of, it might be daunting. You got to just throw yourself into it and do it. Additionally, this card is also about how you might be served very, very well by working on a team. In this card, we have three men that are considering the design for this monastery, let's say, right? And they are experts in their own right, and they can work as a team and accomplish a lot. So you might want to ask yourself, in terms of your career endeavors, do you need to bring on other experts to help guide you and make things easier for you professionally, right? It also could be a matter of tapping into three different aspects of yourself: body, mind, and spirit. Are they all in on this career journey for you, right? So make sure that you're balanced and that you're utilizing the different sides, and consider teamwork. If you already have a team that you're a part of and you don't have to recruit others and bring new people on, this is definitely about being a team player, which Leo really is. They're very, very good at teamwork. They're so good at showmanship and helping other people out. So think of a team, right? Either recruiting or working with the team that you have, and then give things the works. Also keep in mind with Three of Pentacles, you probably have achieved a lot more than you realize. Sure, it's not completely done, but it's like a house. You have the framework, right? You have everything, but you haven't picked out your shower curtain yet, right? So it's not completely done, but keep in mind that already something for you has already been done. Super chat. Okay, well, thank you, Gayla. How close to the truth about the death process that is in Tibetan Book of the Dead? Reason why I am asking, last night I asked you about the bright light we go through. Okay, so I'm not familiar. I think it's the death process, right? I'm not familiar with the process, but let's see what the cards tell us. How close to the truth about the death process that is in the Tibetan Book of the Dead? How true? How close to the truth is the death process? How close to the truth is it? Well, I would say that all truths are true to those who believe them, right? With the Seven of Cups. So this card is really all about things not being extremely clear, right? So it's about imagination. If you imagine that your death process is going to be such, then it will be. I think some of it might be true about the death in consciousness, right? But I'd say overall with 10 of Swords, you can make that a reality by believing in it, but I would not call it gospel. In fact, I think that not knowing anything about this process, this Tibetan process, I would just be careful and make sure that whatever their process that they explain happens with death, make sure that feels good to you and serves you. But I would not say that there's no end all and be all. I would say there are certain things that happen in terms of death that, from what I've read, is going to give you a sense of agency. So for instance, if you believe that when you die that you're going to see St. Peter in the pearly gates of heaven, then you will create that apparency, right? But I wouldn't say there's any hard and fast rules, okay, in regards to that. But thank you for your super chat. How can I mitigate the effects of on your body? I had to ask them. Okay, let's see. So I'm just curious about what that drug is. 𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐁𝐨𝐿. Oh, it's a steroid. Okay. Well, let's see, Sin, how you can mitigate those effects. How do you mitigate the effects? How do you mitigate the effects? How will Sin mitigate the effects of the steroids on the body? All right. So with the Tower, excuse me, the Temperance card, you want to find the right combination of things. So I feel like it's about balancing it with something else. I do think that more water will be good because that will flush the toxins out of your system. But with the Temperance card, you want to balance the things that you're taking into your body. With the Tower, I would say that this is about a dramatic self-improvement program, perhaps. Again, you have to be careful. You just had an operation, right? So you don't want to go crazy. But I would say with the Tower card, it's about implementing new procedures in your day-to-day life, new habits and whatnot that are going to make you feel better. And then you have the Lovers card. So I feel like, you know, you've gone through this process, and it's important because you are experiencing a lot of different energies, a lot of different feelings. And I would say with the Lovers, this is definitely about expressing yourself, writing, etc., but also dialoguing with your doctor in terms of perhaps there being something better for you. I think that would really help you. Overall, with 3 major Arcana cards here, I think the big thing for you is to balance it out. And I think really with the Tower card, there might be another steroid that you get that is going to be less problematic for you. But I do think that with the Tower, there might be some big changes that you want to make in terms of your health. And what I mean by that is it might be a matter of even visualizing health on a regular basis, or you know, saying prayers so that your cells dance with joy, right? So you have the ability to heal yourself. And I do think also with the Temperance card, it's about releasing resistance. There's all of this love energy that's constantly being flowed to you. But if you're not in vibrational vicinity of it, you're not going to reap its benefits. So stay open and release resistance. So I hope that helps it. Additionally, Virgo. So happy full moon in Taurus, Virgo. This is going to be hitting your 9th house. So it's all about expansion and growth. That ought to be cool for you. So the 9th house really just helps you to see things in a from a larger perspective, right? You're not sweating the small stuff. You're seeing things from a bigger place. And you're also expanding your mind, learning things that you didn't know before. Education used to be linked with travel in the old days, and that could be very relevant for you as well. So Virgo, this might be a time in which you decide that you're going to plan a trip, or that you're going to make a big move, or you might find yourself wanting to throw yourself into a big field of study, learning law, learning philosophy, or learning something spiritual. But really, The eclipse hitting your 9th is all about brave leaps. What can you do to really go far and expand, right? So new horizons really beckon with promise for you. This is a transit that is about leaving your smaller perspective and seeing things from a big, brighter way, a new angle, a higher angle. So you want to release any fears and dive into new adventures. You want to have as much fun as possible. As much fun as possible. Let's see, Virgo, what you get for some wisdom for this full moon that's hitting your 9th. Wisdom for Virgo. 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 The Fool! I love it. And that's really the leap of faith that I was talking about, right? So the Fool card, it's all about complete, total potential. It's card number 0, which is like an egg. Before the egg busts, right? It's complete potential. You don't know, right? So embrace the unknown. Take a leap of faith. Do something that surprises yourself. Touch upon a new aspect of yourself. Start at 0. With the Fool card, what helps is to actually say and meditate on the idea of I am nothing. I am nothing. I am nothing. And that's very freeing, right? Because we're really stuck in these roles. I'm an employee. I'm a husband. I'm a brother. I'm a teacher, whatever. And we get locked into those roles and they can feel really stifling. But if you say I'm nothing, there's a sense of relief. Likewise, you could even say I'm everything. And that's also empowering, but in a different way. So allow yourself to know that you can be nothing and everything, and allow yourself to invent yourself, right? We're making ourselves up as we go along. As I always say, Charlie Chaplin entered a Charlie Chaplin lookalike contest and got 3rd place. So you're constantly making yourself up. So take a leap of faith and don't feel beholden to any ideas or roles that no longer serve you. So go out on a limb. That's very, very apropos to the 9th house transit you're going through. So happy full moon, Virgo. Libra. So Libra, this full moon in Taurus is hitting your 8th house. This is definitely a time of letting go. You want to be as flexible as possible because it's a transformative path. This is the house that rules Scorpio, the 8th house. And again, you win by being flexible and going with the flow. So there's a transformative path ahead. You want to let go of what no longer serves you. What is love flows, what is not goes. It's also a time of really great deep connections. You can really connect with people on a very, very deep level. Particularly, of course, your intimate relationships, right? But it also could be about you joining resources with other people to get stronger. So with an 8th house transit, if dissolving a boundary with somebody and connecting with them makes you stronger, well, continue to dissolve that boundary. If dissolving a boundary with somebody seems to make you weaker, then you need to set that boundary. You got to set a new boundary, right? So consider where your boundaries are. If something makes you feel good, dissolve the boundary. If something makes you feel bad, erect a boundary. And remember your decisions. As soon as you decide, you're cutting off the alternative. That's why decisions are difficult. But for you, Libra, your decision, every decision is going to enhance tomorrow's glow, because this whole point is for you to get stronger and to feel amazing. So what do you need to let go of in order to facilitate that? How can you facilitate that sense of growth with that glow that you'll have? What do you need to release in order to really, really glow and feel amazing? So you want to let go of hesitation and prioritize mutual growth. Even if you're in a relationship that is no longer really working for you, maybe it's a matter of being the leader in the relationship and being like, I need to grow and you need to grow, and we're not growing together. It's not good for either of us. Let's spread apart. Let's break up. Or it could be a matter of, well, I need to grow in this way, and so does your partner, and you can facilitate that by making those changes. So think of growth, not just for you, but for the other in your life. And that'll be really great, I think, for you, Libra. So let's see what wisdom from the Tower you get for your full moon and Taurus lunar eclipse. Wisdom for Libra, 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 wisdom for Libra. The Lovers. So the Lovers card is about closing an air cycle. So this is a time in which you're probably going to be making changes to your day-to-day regimes, like the things that you wind up doing on a regular basis, the places that you wind up going, and the things that you talk about and the people that you talk to, etc. So you're closing an air cycle. And this is really all about what new people do you want to be around? What places do you want to see? And really, it's about making a choice, right? What are you making a choice about with the decisions that you make, right? So if you're making a choice, I mean, like being like, okay, well, I'm going to take this route to work today. Well, you're making a choice to expand your horizons or explore new territories, right? If you want to hang out with this particular friend, well, you're making a choice to align with that friend's energy, right? So excellence, whatever it is that you want, love, excellence, wealth, happiness, it all begins with a choice. And that is the theme of the Lovers card. So make sure that your choices are lined up with what your end goals are. Whatever it is that you want at the end, whatever is your bliss, make sure that your choices are aligned with them. And along with that, doing whatever it is that you can to cultivate not just a new mindset conducive to your goals, but how can you interact with your environment on a regular basis that is going to lead you closer to your goals, right? So this is a wonderful card for you. Happy full moon in Taurus, Libra. Scorpio. So Scorpio, this full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse, of course, is hitting your 7th house, your opposite sign. And this is your season. So happy birthday to the Scorpios that are out there. This is a time of you connecting with other people and of deep connections. So you could connect with people very deeply. This is not just personally or romantically, although of course it can be that, but it's about your deep connections, right? Who can you connect with deeply and get stronger as a result of that connection, right? It's also about harmonious commitment. So this could be a great time for you to connect with a consultant. This could be a great time for you to patch things up with a business partner you had a falling out with. Anything that has to do with your connection with another person can really be enhanced. Likewise, there might be somebody that needs to go bye-bye, right? There might be a relationship or a partnership that you have that no longer is relevant to who you want to be, because you, of all people, are certainly transforming this season. And it's really about balance. How can you balance things in your life? What decisions can you make that are balanced, that are going to give you that sense of fairness and equality? So shared adventures, this is definitely a time to connect with other people, will weave magical tales. You're going to get a lot more done, Scorpio, now with somebody else by your side. Be it a spouse, a romantic partner, a best friend, even a consultant. That is going to help you during this time more than going solo and being alone. So you want to move on from superficiality and superficial bonds and seek deeper meaning in your relationships. So let's see, Scorpio, what wisdom from the tarot you get for your full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. Wisdom for Scorpio, wisdom for Scorpio, wisdom for Scorpio. Knight of Pentacles. So this is nice. I think that this is who you should be seeking, Scorpio. This Knight of Pentacles is very Virgo-y energy. I think that you need to find somebody that is grounded and focused, and sure, a little pedantic, a little bit boring. That actually might be an energy that's really good for you to work with. Okay, somebody who's grounded and stable, so you can essentially become more of who you are, right? This energy is very, very Taurus, your opposite sign. So by connecting with people who are unlike you, you get to be more of yourself, right? So you can only be you if somebody else can only be them, right? So I would say that you want to tap into this energy. Maybe it's about becoming more Taurus yourself, more grounded or more Virgo, right? And focusing on your work, focusing on practicality. Likewise, I would look for somebody like this. Somebody grounded, might be a little boring, might be a workhorse, very detail-oriented, practical, grounded, and unobstructed by currents, right? So I think that would be great for you, Scorpio. So find this person or become more of this person yourself. And happy full moon. Oh, you do, Casmar? You have a new friend to work in the community? I'm very excited for you. That's wonderful. Have fun with your new friend. Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, this full moon in Taurus, lunar eclipse is hitting your 6th house of lifestyle. Essentially, in a nutshell, Sagittarius, this is about work and health, your routines, your daily grind, what you do day in and day out, right? So you want to really leverage this. This could be a really great time for you to reinvigorate and revitalize your routines, right? So what you do day in and day out, how can you make changes to your regularly scheduled program that are going to empower you and make your day better? This could be meditating. This could be exercising in the morning. This could be journaling in the morning, whatever. But you want to revitalize your routine and do whatever it is that you can to control your day. What energy can you put into yourself that's going to make you stronger so you can handle all the nonsense that happens during your day? Job shifts. I mean, this is a 6th house transit, right? So your job might be shifting, right? And you want to roll with the punches and remain flexible, Sagittarius, with any job shifts that happen. And you want to celebrate your well-being. You want to, really be happy in your body, particularly, right? Your health is your wealth. So what can you do to celebrate you being healthy, you having legs that work and arms that work, right? And a brain that works, right? How can you celebrate your life and your body? That's going to help you a lot. Every day, Sagittarius, can be a vibrant celebration for you, but you need to look at your blessings and how you can amplify them, right? With your routines. Likewise, during a 6th house lunar eclipse transit, there might be some habits that you just need to let go of. It might not be a matter of adding something so much as releasing something that no longer is working for you. You might like Japanese food, but then you really feel gross because you're having too much salt and it's making you feel heavy, for instance. So it's not a matter of you need to do anything except cut something out. And that typically is what happens under the full moon. You got to cut something out that is undermining your success. And you want to create these new routines that are conducive to your overall well-being. So definitely control your day. And let's see what wisdom you get, Sagittarius, for your full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus. Wisdom for Sagittarius. 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 The Sun. Perfect. I love this card. It's one of the best cards of the deck. Definitely the biggest energy card. And this is exactly what you want to see for a 6th house transit. You want to feel like the sun, right? You want to have plenty of energy. So with this card, it's a brand new beginning. It's like the perfect experience in terms of love, business, friendship. You can't go wrong with the sun. It's fantastic. So think about what makes you feel really alive and lit up. Look at this card and imagine it in your body. How would that sun feel shining from you? And what are you doing? What are you doing that's going to make you feel like that, right? So this is a great card, Sagittarius. Definitely allow yourself to have fun, enjoy the present moment. That's really key. Bask in the glory of being alive and stay in the moment and get creative and just celebrate. This is a really good card. So I'm so glad you got this, Sagittarius. Happy full moon in Taurus. New beginnings for you, Sag. New beginnings. Very, very bright and sunny new beginnings. Capricorn. So Capricorn, you got a nice little 5th house transit going on here. 5th house is all about joy. It's about anything that lights you up. Anything that lights you up and brings you joy. Things that you really, really love. And it doesn't really have to be deep. A 5th house could be billiards. A 5th house could be rollerblading. It could be bowling. It could be going to the disco if we have discos anymore. Why, thank you, Pollyanna. You're awesome too. It's about passionate pursuits. So Capricorn, you were born at a time in which there was a lot of responsibility thrust on you very early in life. So you grow old in reverse, meaning you're probably going to feel younger and look younger at 50 than you did 40, or at 60 than you did 50, right? So allow yourself to pursue what lights you up. You had a lot of responsibility early on in your life. You may have had to put your dreams and goals on the back burner, but this is a transit. It's saying, let yourself be lit up, follow your passion, and create adventures. Now, the 5th house has to do with your creation, including your kids, if you have children. So this could be a time in which you remove blocks to further love and excitement and good times with them. It also could be a time in which you are starting some new creative ventures and you're releasing resistance to you being creative during this time. So your heart's joy is what's going to light up your life, right? You want to release any reservations and savor life's delight. You might want to just tell yourself, it's okay to have fun. It's okay to have a good time. Might sound silly, but Capricorns, because they have so much responsibility growing up, and that's their context typically, that whenever they do have fun, that's accompanied by a sense of guilt, or I'm going to get in trouble, or, oh, geez, I shouldn't be doing this. So you want to override that old program and let yourself know that it is okay to have fun, especially now for you. So let's see, Capricorn, what you get for your lunar eclipse. Wisdom for Capricorn. Wisdom for Capricorn. Wisdom for Capricorn. Wisdom for Capricorn. Okay, so don't take this the wrong way. Don't take this the wrong way. You get 3 of Swords. The good thing with this card, it's not actually heartbreak. It's not. It's a swords. It's a sword card, right? So the swords have to do with the mind, the thinking, right? So what thinking is making you feel as if your heart is broken? What thinking is making you sorrowful? This is a transit for you to have fun. This is all about joy. You need to make sure that you are looking at things in ways that are empowering. Obviously, if you're really sad about something, you got to express it. You got to let the emotions flow through you. You are not your emotions. They flow through you, pass through you, and then they disappear. So if anything's making you feel bad, you need to have catharsis and let it go. Likewise, you need to be disciplined and not look at things in a way that sucks. You need to look at things in a way that is very, very positive. Remember, in A Course in Miracles, it says, I always have the power to see things differently. So if you're seeing things that feel bad, please change your perspective and they'll feel better, I'm sure. Let's do a super chat. Kelsey, how will your hubby and I fare with the student loans and paying them off in the next few years? Let's see. Kelsey, how are you paying the student loans? Let's see. I think you'll do it. I think you'll do it. One thing you have here is 10 of Wands. So don't give yourself like this pressure. That's not going to help you flow with finances, right? So there, you want to release the pressure valve. And you get the Magician card here. The Magician card is not oppressing himself, getting something done. So you've made the request, right? You want to be able to pay off these loans in a few years. Relax about it. Relax about it. You put that out there, you got to just trust it's going to happen. Don't force it. Don't make it happen. Don't muscle your way through these student loans. It's not going to be good for you to do that. You want to allow yourself to trust, and you can then manifest miracles. And then you got 3 of Cups, which is about abundance and celebration. So yes, you will be able to pay off those loans, but you need to do it in a different way. Don't white knuckle yourself through this. Don't make it like a thing. It's going to happen. Let it flow and relax. And happy full moon. Aquarius. Aquarius, this full moon is hitting your 4th house, of course. Your 4th house of emotional security. Typically, this house is called the house of home and family. But really, it's about whatever makes you feel emotionally connected, right? Emotionally connected and at home within the self. So this is a time in which you can revitalize your internal emotional state. Find out what brings you to that happy place and do it. Whatever gives you solace, right? That is what you want to do right now. Home changes. I mean, this is a big deal, right? If you're Aquarius, Aquarius rising, this is hitting an angle in your chart. So there might be changes to your home. There might be a sense of, okay, well, I need to redecorate or I need to move, right? And I would just go with the flow. Again, you want to definitely tap into, with this transit, the divine mother, because mother, home is actually a metaphor for mother. So if you can tap into the divine mother, that's going to help you with your home life. And if you have home issues, then you will have issues with your mother. So if you want to heal any home issues, heal your relationship with your mother and practice forgiveness and lots of love, etc. Sweet sanctuary. So however you can tap into making your home your sweet sanctuary, that's going to be very advantageous to you. You want to have a place where you can recoup and relax and regenerate, right? So new beginnings are brewing in your emotional world. So you might find yourself very emotional during this period. Again, release the energy. Let anything that's within you flow, right? Because you're not your emotions. They flow through you and they disappear. So if you're harboring any negative emotions, you don't have to deny them. You want to just flow with them and get them out of your system. So let go of any negativity and fortify your sanctuary. Get comfy and cozy. Maybe spend some money at Bed and Bath and get yourself some pillows and more comforters, anything that can make you feel more at home and more comfortable. That'll really help you. So let's see, Aquarius, what wisdom you get from the tarot for this lunar eclipse. Wisdom for Aquarius. 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 5 of Wands. So essentially, with the 5 of Wands, it is a matter of there might be some kind of adjustment to the plan, right? Like, oh, geez. And that does happen with an eclipse, right? But you want to allow yourself to really make decisions as to what battles you're actually going to involve yourself in. I think with the 5 of Wands, it's about cross purposes. People might want something that you don't want, or you want something that other people don't want. But it's a matter of choosing your battles carefully and knowing which ones that, you want to participate in. I would also say that positively, the 5 of Wands is the thrill of the competition, right? We need this struggle, right, with 5 of Wands in order to reach that victory. And that's the 6 of Wands, right? So with 5 of Wands, I think the big lesson is, keep up the good fight and allow yourself to release that sense of having to struggle. If you're experiencing 5 of Wands, you probably have a belief in struggle. You don't necessarily have to struggle to manifest your goals. So if you can release during this period that notion that you have to struggle in order to succeed, then you're going to be able to succeed without the struggle. Otherwise, I would say enjoy the competition. It might be able to push you further. But I think the big thing is, especially in light of your 4th house transit, you and your family, there might be cross purposes. They might see things one way and you see things the other way. But again, at the end of the day, we carry our home around us wherever we go. So you need to feel at home within the self and doing what you need to do for you to make yourself feel good. Okay? Because nobody else is living inside your body. Nobody else is experiencing you. Your job is to feel as perfect as possible. And if that means that other people are against that, then maybe you need to set a boundary with those people. So enjoy your full moon, Aquarius, for sure. Just know your boundaries. And then last but not least, Pisces, my fishies, the fishies. Pisces, this full moon lunar eclipse is hitting your 3rd house of communication. So it's really all about allowing yourself to get a really good mindset in place. How can you think in the right way that is going to get you to where you need to be, right? It's also about you sharing and communicating, using your eloquent voice, right? It's not just talking. Of course, the 3rd house is about talking, but it also could be about writing. It could also be about anything that you do with your hands, be it painting, or even anything you do with your whole body, like dancing or singing, creative expression, right? Communicating. We can communicate in lots of ways. So typically it's around our talk. So really allow yourself to align with your eloquent voice, and even metaphorically, if you're an artist. This transit is about sharing knowledge with other people. So connecting with other people is going to be really good. And you're bound to have a lot of vibrant conversations. This is the ending of one air cycle for you into another. So what new conversations do you want to have? What places do you want to go? What people do you want to talk to? What new people? And what people do you no longer want to talk to too? You got to remember, this is a full moon transit. So there are going to be things that are leaving your life so you have more space, right? So your voice dances with captivating grace. A wonderful opportunity, Pisces, for you to open up your throat chakra and to express yourself. And if it's not through talking, maybe again, it's writing, it could be sculpture, it could be dance, it could be singing, etc. So you want to release hesitation this transit and share your brilliant messages. Be that them through writing, through talking, through singing, through any form of art. You will essentially want to express yourself. And I think the most important thing about a 3rd house transit is your mindset. Are you thinking in a way that is empowering, that is going to lead you closer to your goals? So let's see, Pisces, what wisdom you get from the tarot for your lunar eclipse, full moon in Taurus. Wisdom for Pisces. Wisdom for Pisces. Wisdom for Pisces. Pisces. Wisdom for Pisces. All right. So again, 9 of Swords. Don't obsess. The cool thing about this card is nothing's really coming at you. You're doing it to yourself. So utilize this full moon to release any neuroses, any dark thoughts or anxiety. Just picture the ocean taking all your negative emotions away and your negative thoughts away, right? Do whatever you can to make sure that your mind is feeling great. Focus on things that you love, because you do not need this nonsense. But again, if you are getting the 9 of Swords in a reading, it's kind of good that you're getting it during a full moon transit, because this is suggesting you want to release this so you can have more happiness. So keep that in mind. You always have the power to see things differently, and just focus. Throw yourself into things that feel good, because you don't want to be dealing with 9 of Swords. But the good news with 9 of Swords too is there's nothing happening except you're screwing yourself. Like you're mugging yourself of a good mental experience. So release anything, any thoughts that don't feel good, and send negative emotions back to the ocean. So happy full moon, Pisces. And there you have it, folks. Thanks so much for joining me today for your full moon in Taurus lunar eclipse Tarotscopes. I really appreciate you joining the live and the super chats. And of course, I appreciate you watching the replay afterwards. So thank you for joining. And please like this video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and feel free to share because sharing is caring. And the sun is in Scorpio, which is all about sharing. Also, if you're looking for a reading, coaching, etc., check out my website, psychicsun.com, including your written horoscopes for this lunation. The link to that is in the description below. So happy full moon lunar eclipse, everyone, and I will see you next time.